My son violated his orders in order to protect the lives of at least 30 people. He risked his life to be a hero. I wish that the leadership in the White House had that same level of moral courage and heroism that my son displayed with his life.
Well, that was the father of Tyrone Woods, the former Navy SEAL who was murdered on the attack at our consulate in Benghazi, Libya, joining us last Friday on America Live and making some news by asking for answers about why his son's pleas for backup were repeatedly denied that night, according to Jennifer Griffin's exclusive reporting. Since then, there have been major questions about where the mainstream media has been on this story. Joining me now to discuss it, Jonah Goldberg, editor-at-large of the National Review and a Fox News contributor. He wrote about this in his latest column. And Juan Williams, a Fox News political analyst. Guys, welcome.
Well, good to be here.
And so Mr. Woods went on other programs, including right here on Fox News Channel after that. But, you know, he's made some news. He was very reasonable, but he was upset and accused those who have refused his son the help that he was asking for of murder. Whether you agree with that or not, and now clearly you don't, Juan, it's news. It's news, and what's happening in Libya is news. And Joan, I'll start with you since you wrote the column. Why hasn't there been more interest in this story from others in the mainstream media?
Oh, I think a lot of people in the mainstream media are treating it as if it's some sort of unfair October surprise foisted on the news cycle by the Romney campaign. But it's not an October surprise. It's news. It's real news. And I agree. I'm sort of with Juan. I don't think grieving parents should necessarily be the pivot for how we discuss public policy or foreign policy. I thought that was true when Cindy Sheehan was out there being lionized by the mainstream media, and I feel basically the same way with Mr. Woods. I feel terrible for him, and I think his voice should be heard, but we shouldn't let it manipulate everybody with guilt about it. But at the same time, Jennifer Griffin's report about how the people on the ground were denied support is a big story. We've talked about it a lot on Fox, the Washington Post, the New York Times, ABC, NBC, CBS haven't talked about it basically at all. And I think that's outrageous.
You know, Juan, Jonah raises Cindy Sheehan because so many in the mainstream media wanted to talk about her and her story and her objections to the Iraq war, and that she was such a presence on the campaign trail when President Bush was running for re-election. And so that was the plight of a parent that got a lot of attention. The plight of Mr. Woods, not so much.
Well, I think that clearly he's gotten lots of attention here on Fox. And, you know, just this morning there was a column in the Washington Post by David Ignatius talking about Jennifer Griffin's report, talking about the charge made by Mr. Woods. And, you know, I guess it was Tuesday morning. It was on the front page of the New York Times. They had a column, not a column, but a news story, looking at all the reporting and allegations that have come around this story. So it seems to me that if you look, also National Journal has done an extensive study at this and said, you know, they didn't come up with any clear evidence of a specific story that would say, oh, there's a scandal here, you know, set off the alarms, let's get the headlines flowing. People have looked at it and made a news judgment. Clearly, Fox has made a different news judgment, and I think people should pursue stories. You look back at Watergate, and sometimes there were lone agencies, news agencies out there pursuing the story that eventually blew up. The question is, has there been a specific piece of evidence here of some kind of lie or malpractice, malfeasance that you would say, oh, well, that's the story? I don't think we're quite there yet.
The question is, though, I mean, none of what's come out would have come out at all if Catherine Herridge, Jennifer Griffin, our own Bret Baier hadn't been pushing. You know, none of this would have come out. Nobody else was pushing on it at all, Jonah. Everything we've learned, everything the administration has been forced to admit, we've learned through them. Virtually, and Eli Lake over the Daily Beast has been doing a good job on this too. But Juan suggests that there has been mainstream media coverage of it. Jonah, in your piece, you talk about what happened on the Sunday shows this past week. I mean, the three, not Chris Wallace, but the other three of the four main Sunday show hosts completely blew off Libya.
Yeah, look, I mean, my point isn't that it hasn't been covered by any other media outlet. It hasn't been covered very much. And if Juan thinks that this just doesn't rise to the level of a major news story, that's a difference in opinion about what constitutes a major news story. I think that when the President of the United States goes out, blames essentially the First Amendment, blames a video, says that certain facts were true when they were not true, sticks to that story for a very long time, says that our ambassador, the first ambassador to be killed in 30 years, had ample security, and then it's turned out that that was just a lie that Susan Rice had put out there. And you go on and on and on. Just last week, the President of the United States said that that he gave an order to protect our people on the ground. That was his first order that he gave. Either that order was refused by his subordinates or he's not telling the truth that he gave it. These things seem to me to be real news stories. And yet if you look at the 4 out of the 5 Sunday shows, if you include CNN's, no one touched the story. David Gregory even went and said, we'll get to Libya later, and then never got back to it, but spent about 4 or 5 minutes on whether or not some comments about abortion from an Indiana Senate candidate were the death knell for the Romney campaign. It seems to me that there's a very one-sided double standard about what constitutes a legitimate feeding frenzy kind of news story, and invariably they're the kind of stories that are inconvenient for Republicans and help Democrats.
All right, we are going to get Juan's response to that after this break. Don't go away. Juan, last question to you. Do you think the fact that this is not being covered more in the mainstream media has anything to do with the presidential election?
Well, I think this is a highly politicized story, and clearly President Obama has an advantage in the polls when it comes to who do you trust to handle terrorism, foreign affairs, and that's unusual for a Democrat, and it looks like this is an attempt by the Romney campaign to somehow drag the president down in that way. A poll done by Fox just this week said, a plurality of Americans don't think the president's lying, but they think that this whole story has been mishandled. And to Jonah's point that it is a news story, Jonah is exactly right. It is a news story. First ambassador killed, but there's been lots of denials from the Pentagon and the CIA that also have to be taken into account.
We have yet to have a presidential press conference on it. That would help a lot. Guys, thank you both so much for being here.
You're welcome.
Thank you.